Hello everyone. Welcome to Infosec session. Welcome to Infosec session day 2. Hope you are having a great time. Today we have planned some amazing things for you, so be sure to stick to the end. Okay. So the first thing that we are going with is social engineering. So social engineering is the art of manipulating people so that they give up some confidential information which can be used to exploit them. Let's see an example. You might have heard that you should not give OTP to a random caller claiming to be from the bank or something. Well, that's an example of social engineering. The caller claims to be a legit person and tries to get some details out of you so that they can exploit you, like stealing your money from the bank. Or it can be also in the form of like fishy emails and SMS, etc. Now, social engineering can be through a variety of mediums like text, emails, calls, websites, etc. But when we talk about the textual mediums like email, SMS, and websites, it's called phishing. It is a type of social engineering attack and is often used to steal user data, including login credentials, credit card numbers, etc. If you're using Discord for a while now, you might have seen some messages being spammed claiming to give you free Discord Nitro, like these ones. These are the links taken from live attacks. Now, what happens is when you click on these links, it opens a false login page for you. It seems to be like a real Discord login page, and you might be tempted to put your credentials in it for a free Nitro. But if you do so, you basically give away your credentials to the hackers who made the website. It is not something from Discord. And once the hackers have your credentials, they can do whatever you want. So, how do we identify phishing attacks? And how do we stay safe from them? Well, you can see the URL. It's so different than the normal discord.com. And just taking a look at the URL, you can figure out whether it is a phishing or not. And if it is seems sus or fishy, just don't click on it. Okay? So so why are we talking about this? What's the purpose?
तो जूनियर ग्रुप में लिख शेयर कर दे क्या वॉचिंग नहीं आ रही है
So why are we talking about this? What's the purpose? The purpose is to make you guys aware of these things because 34 of you guys have been phished. Interestingly, only 34 of you guys actually interacted with the feedback form we gave you after the last session. Notice something? Let's take a look at those 34 credentials that we have. So we have censored the passwords, but the username and whether the guy had autofill enabled or not is visible. I'll be just putting this link into the live chat so that you can see. Yeah. Now let's wait for a few moments for people to go to the website and check the credentials if they're correct or not. And yeah, this redacted one is way too insecure to show. And while we are waiting, don't forget to put your reactions in the chat. We want to see some reactions. I hope all 34 of you guys are here. Otherwise, it would not be that great. Okay, I guess then we can move on. Everyone has seen that. Okay. So basically, the form that we gave you, the feedback form that we gave you last time, actually utilized a cross-site scripting vulnerability in Moodle to generate a form which stole your username's passwords. And if you had autofill enabled in your browser, you don't need to enter the password or do something. it will automatically take it. And once it takes, it puts in a secure database which actually displays the results here. Yeah, we have censored it because it's a public website and we don't want to reveal all the stuff. So let's take a look at the phishing link. This was the actual link. Okay, we did a bitly shortened it and then gave it to you. So many of you just ignored this thing. So uh, firstly, let's take a look at this moodle.iitism.ac.in. As you can see, it's a legit Moodle website. It's not a fake domain, which like the Discord ones did. Like they bought a fake domain which looked similar if you glanced over it. But yeah, this is a legit one. We were lucky enough to find a vulnerability in Moodle, and using that vulnerability, we can generate the phishing page in the domain of Moodle itself. Now, as you can see here, the redirect URI and something is there. That's the actual payload which generates the phishing URL, phishing page, the feedback and the login page. And we have a feedback ID. Now, the purpose of feedback ID is just to make the URL long enough so that this part actually gets hidden in the browser's URL bar. This feedback ID doesn't serve any purpose when it comes to the exploit itself. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see here, just see the feedback. The JavaScript is way ahead. I can't even see it if I just look at a glance. So it seems to me like a legit website, but it is not. Now I can just hit continue, and what many of you did was just put some random here 1098, let's say, and let's say password and login. So now, once you have hit the login button, the credentials are actually stored in the database. So you can just hit refresh, and here we have it the same. So, and you can also go and submit the feedback form. Like, okay, so yeah, the website is down right now. So yeah, I can't log in it first. Okay, so so let's talk about those 34 people. You did a great job. We appreciate your effort to give us a feedback, but you should be more aware of what you are doing. So we have your Moodle passwords now, and chances are really high that you were using the same password everywhere, even in your Google accounts. So, uh, or even if it was just a Moodle specific password, we can do a lot of stuff within Moodle itself. We can change your email, we can change your password, we can mess with your profile picture or profile name or anything, or we can unenroll you from all your courses. Basically, we can destroy your semester. But don't worry about it because we are bit criminals. We are really nice people. So we don't do anything. We'll just delete this stuff. Don't worry about that. So now I want to talk about something called password strength. Like when we got all the passwords, we analyzed it and we found that most of them, like around 65% of the passwords were weak. Now, how do you define a weak password? Either it is something that is available in some word list like rockU.txt, or it is the one of the first things that comes to your mind, like date of birth, phone number, etc. I won't be revealing the patterns of password because then people can try to guess it. But yeah, phone numbers and passwords might be some hint. Moreover, password strength is something that is only valid if the hackers don't already have your password. Chances are that the hackers have hacked into some database of a website where you registered, and the website might be insecure, so it was easy for the hackers to gain your credentials. And once they have your credentials, it doesn't matter if your password is the world's most complicated password. They already have it. So what should you do? We recommend to you to use password managers like LastPass and OnePassword to generate and store passwords for each website that you visit. Each uh, generate random and unique passwords for each website. Moreover, enable multi-factor authentication wherever possible. And that is the most secure way to make sure nothing bad happens. So that's it from my part for now. I hope you guys learned something and won't repeat your mistakes. I'll be handing over the session to Arijit. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am Marijit Koha, and I will be continuing the session. And today I'll be talking about CTFs. Well, as a gamer, every time I hear the word CTF or capture the flag, my memories bring me back to playing games like Team Fortress, Counter Strike, and other FPS games, where you would literally try to capture your opponent's flag and try to defend your own. Now, what is a cybersecurity CTF? Well, cybersecurity CTF is a competition between security professionals or students learning about security. This competition is used as a learning tool for everyone that is interested in cybersecurity. Now, let us know more about CTFs. So, the best platform to know about CTFs is CTF Time. Well, let's go to CTF Time, and here you can see the upcoming CTFs like this guy CTF or the many other cities that will be coming very soon. And also you can see the past CTFs and their write-ups, which are basically the solutions to the challenges. Apart from this, you can also see the ranking of the teams. Now, every CTF has a weightage, as you can see here. So, what does that mean? Generally, more weightage means that the CTF is well known and played by many people. Now, Uh, the challenges we are given in this type of CTFs are often based on real world incidents or vulnerabilities that give you a chance to experience how it's actually done uh, and better prepare you to defend your own systems for these types of attacks. Well, CTFs are competitions designed for both the rookies and the pros. You can develop your skills much faster by playing CTF than other things. Uh, Also, the skills and knowledge you get from CTFs is incomparable. Well, CTFs are not a solo event and are generally played with a team. You will interact with new people from the cybersecurity field during CTFs and will develop a connection. You will also learn the skill of teamwork, which is very useful. So, if you are new to cybersecurity, the best way to learn is to dive into CTFs. Uh, well, CTFs comprise of challenges from different categories like cryptography, where you will be given a piece of data to decrypt. Also, there are categories like pawn or binary exploitation, reverse engineering, and forensics, where you will be investigating some sort of data like a memory dump of a system, or maybe an Android challenge, or web hacking, or steganography, networking, or it may be OSINT, where you will be basically googling through various sites and even social media accounts of people, or even sometimes finding the location of a place which you haven't visited, which you have never visited. Uh, Also, in some CTFs, you will be given hardware challenges where you will be given hardware devices to hack. Uh, Apart from that, there are challenges belonging to cloud, or there are many miscellaneous challenges like scripting or maybe hacking a Discord bot or a Telegram bot, and many others. Now, let us talk about some of the famous CTFs. The most famous CTF is DEFCON CTF. DEFCON is one of the world's largest and the most notable hacker events uh, in the world. Uh, the first DEFCON took place in 1993. So, what happens in DEFCON? So, in the event consists of several tracks of speakers about computers and hacking related stuff, as well as cybersecurity challenges and competitions. Contests and workshops during the event are extremely varied and can range from creating the longest Wi-Fi connection to even finding a way to cool a beer in Neverhead. And once they even hacked the satellite. Now, another CTF is Google CTF. As Google organizes various geeky contests over the year, it also organizes a CTF of its own, which is known as Google CTF. In the first round, Google selects 10 teams, which are then invited to the on-site location of Google office, where these 10 teams compete for a prize pool of more than $30,000. Now, if we talk about the biggest CTF in India, then it's IN CTF, organized by Team BIOS from Amrita University. Last year, it had a prize pool of more than 20,000, and the CTF had a wide range of challenges from memory forensics to networking. Now, if we talk about the vibes during a CTF, then these photos itself gives me chills. People literally indulge themselves in their computers during this period. You can see in the photos that teams from all over the world have gathered together and are competing against each other. In short, CTFs are amazing and crazy. Now, now we the people from Infosec CyberLabs have a team of our own named Bit Criminals. Last year on CTF time, uh, we had a rank. La, last year, uh, last year, last year in CTF time, we had a rank of 6 in our country and a worldwide rank of 69. And this year, we are currently topping the chart in India and having a worldwide rank of 20. So now let's see how a CTF platform looks like. Uh, So as you can see here, this is the Ctf platform of Insomniac, organized by SRCT Switzerland. Now here you can see that there are many notifications that had been. Now the CTF is over, but here you can see the challenges that were given in the CTF. Also, you can see the teams that topped the chart in the CTF. Here you can see a news panel where you will be given various kinds of notifications during the CTFs, like if a challenge is upgraded or even a challenge is changed. Also, there is a scoreboard feature in every CTF where you can see your own position. Uh, Now, if you are a beginner, so how will you start playing CTFs? So the best way to start with CTFs is by starting with Pico CTF. So let us just Google Pico CTF. Let's hit the first link. And well, Pico CTF is a CTF that is hosted by Carnegie Mellon University and is meant to introduce people to CTFs. So let's log in here. And after you log in, you can see various categories of challenges like web exploitation here, cryptography. And now, I guess let's see and how we can solve a CTF challenge. So let's pick up a challenge like web exploitation here. So every challenge has a description. Now the description literally tells us about the challenge and what we have to do. Apart from that, you also will be given hints by the organizers during the CTFs. Uh, Now let's see what this challenge says. Now if you solve a challenge, there will also be some points which you will get. Now let's see this challenge. So what does this say? The factory is hiding things from all of its users. Can you log in as Joe and find what they have been looking at? And a link is given. So let's open up this link. So here is the link. Now let's see its source page if we can see something useful. Well, I don't think anything is useful here. Now, since this is a login page, so let's put some credentials here, like Joe, and let's log in and see that if something happens. Well, we just logged in and it shows success, but we don't have the flag, right? So this suggests that a cookie might be used to store a separate variable that might be preventing us from seeing the flag. So let's see the cookies, I guess. For that, I'll be using the cookie editor and you can see that there are many cookies named admin, password, username. Let's see this. Well, yeah, you can see here there's a cookie named admin and it has been set to false. So if I just set this admin cookie to true and save this and then maybe refresh the page, and here you have your flag. Now you will collect this flag and submit this. Like here it is submitting, and yeah, okay, you have 100 points. So this is how you basically solve a CTF challenge. Now, apart from Pico CTF, there is another platform. Well, I like doing challenges here, like this one. This one is known as Pawn College. Okay. So what we do here? So here we are given here we are given pawn or binary exploitation challenges. So it is it's like a learning process. So here you if I log in, uh, so let me show you the scoreboard, and you will see something great. Uh, here, if you see the all-time rankings, you can see our final year senior, Naughty Boy sir, and also you can see the name of our third year senior, Masayati sir. So they have basically topped the chart here. You can see. So you will also be doing these things. So now this Pond College is hosted by the ASU University of America, so it's a prestigious learning platform, and it's great, and it's a great job that some students of our college have topped the chart here. So now that's all I can say about CTFs. Now my friend Himanshu will continue the session.
Hello everyone, I am Himanshu Das and I'll be continuing the session and we'll be talking about reverse engineering. So, what is reverse engineering? It is typically the process of taking the compiled binary and converting it back into a more human readable format. Now, what does this mean? Let's say you're given a binary that is a program which you can run. Now, let's say you execute that binary using let's say you are on Linux, then you execute binaries using this command dot slash and the binary name. So after executing the binary, let's say it asks for your password. Enter your password, let's say, and if you enter the correct password, then it will give you the flag. If you have solved a couple of Unix challenges or OSWAP challenges, then you all might know what a flag is. A flag is basically sort of a password which acts as a proof that you have completed the challenge. So basically, reverse engineering is a topic in CTFs basically. Uh, okay, so and just this, you are given no other information. You have to find out the password just from the binary. So in these cases, what will you do? In reverse engineering, what we do is we open the binary using some tools and then we try to convert the machine code in binary or bytecode back to human readable form, that is either assembly language or disassemble it into C or whatever language it was written into, and then from that we try to work our way back to find this password. As you can see in the slide, it's very often the goal of reverse engineering is to understand the functionality of a program to understand deeper issues. Some useful tools for reverse engineering are Ghidra, IDA Pro, and GDB. GDB is basically GNU debugger, which GDB is the full form of GDB is GNU debugger, and it is a very useful tool for debugging and viewing the source code of binaries. So, what we'll be doing today is we'll try to reverse engineer a keygen generator, and we'll try to figure out how it generates those keygens. And hence, we'll try to generate our own keygens for cracking softwares. Is everyone here familiar with AutoCAD? AutoCAD, AUTOCAD. Uh, Anyone familiar with it? And type yes in the chat box. Okay, well, I feel sorry for you guys for knowing it. The people in Hardsim must be knowing it, and well, okay. So basically, I purchased AutoCAD, and I've got a keygen generator from their side, and we'll try to see how it generates the keygens, and then we'll try to create a keygen of our own, and we'll use it to crack AutoCAD, and we'll see if that works. So I'll be going to the mail which I received from them. Apologies for my slow internet. Okay, what just happened? Okay, yeah, it opened. Nice. Mm, okay, thanks for choosing. Okay, this was the mail. So basically, I purchased this, and I've got a license key activator for this, and we'll use this and the binary. Okay, show all downloads. So now what we'll do is we'll open this, and then from it, it will give us a keygen which it will use to activate our product, and then we'll try to reverse this, and we'll try to see how it activates our product and how it generates that keygen, and then we'll generate our own. I'll extract this. Huh. And those who are attending the session may just get a free key for AutoCAD, so please tune in. Yes, Ravneet, if you are in for the whole session, you might just get one. Okay, I'll just run this software now. Okay, I should get the keygen now. Mm, Wait, what? What just happened? Uh, Wait, what the? हाँ ये क्या हुआ? ये सब क्या हुआ? एक ये सब क्या हुआ? What the fuck? ये क्या हुआ? हाँ 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 सर, हेलो.
Hello. Apparently, we have run into some technical issues. We can't contact Himanshu right now. Just wait for a few, right? Okay. Hello. I think so. His system just got shut down. He'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Hello, hello. Basically, my Discord got closed, and I was in voice chat there, and I wasn't able to contact them. So, sir just called me, and he told me that, well, I'll have to continue somehow. Uh, this, I guess, this was probably a ransomware, and I saw all my files. I literally tried to open them, and each one of them had the extension .fun now on my files. I tried to open this, but this was a txt file. I tried to open it with notepad, but I don't know what it is. So, and sir basically told me that I'll have to continue the session somehow. So, why do I have two Firefox open? Okay, this is probably this Firefox. It has icon. Okay, this. Okay, this logo right here. I think this is the ransomware. Where is the binary? Downloads license. This was it, I guess, right? Okay, this has the description Firefox. I think this is the binary. Okay, original file name Jigsaw ransomware. Why the fuck did I not check this? Okay, okay. Calm down. Okay, I'll search about it first. So, ransom. Is my browser dead? Okay, no, it is not. Thank God. Encrypting ransomware malware created in 2016 initially threatened. So it is the first time it actually reveals the until ransom is paid as Bitcoin blackmailer. And after iconic character, it is done. And why is the timer so fast? Why is the timer so fast? It says 12 minutes. I don't think this much time has passed yet. New variant of Jigsaw ransomware uses AES. Okay, I know this. I know about AES algorithm. Delete files every time. Okay. Okay. Well, this is a reversing session, right? Okay. Uh, I guess we are not cracking keychains now. Let's reverse this ransomware. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this all day. I'm not going to let my files just get stolen by this ransomware. I'm going to reverse this. I'm going to reverse this right now. Okay. Okay. Let's say second antivirus stop. I think antivirus have might stopped it from running, but I have Windows Defender, and if you know, Windows Defender doesn't work. I'm so buying an antivirus tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'm buying it today. Okay, so I'll. Okay, let's first let me just see the properties of this file. I hope my WSL works. Okay, file license. .exe. The PE32 executable Intel. Okay, it is a .NET assembly for Microsoft Windows. Okay, I know of a tool for it. Its name is Spy, I guess. I have it installed. Okay, I'll try to open this binary using that. Timer is repeating. Timer is repeating. Okay. One file security website. What is this? Encrypted files. Okay. Did it delete this file? Okay. Is an acquisition. Okay, I guess it wants me to send $100 of Bitcoin here. I don't have that. I can't pay them. Okay, I'll spy. Uh, okay, won't this minimize? File, open, downloads, license activator, .exe. It's decompiling. Okay, okay, assembly title Firefox. Resources, main. Okay, I guess the file of this, the encrypt function must be somewhere in here, and hopefully I'll be able to decrypt it. Form background time activator checker trick, import restriction. No, this doesn't seem like it. Encrypt files. Okay, this seems promising. Initialize component. Okay. Okay. I found something. Okay. I guess this takes each files in from some this function, and then if that file exists, it appends dot fun to it or something. Okay. I don't know. I program. Start with nothing interesting. Form game. What it is? I'll. Okay. I don't like I'll spy. There was one another for reversing P32 files. It I had it dot what it was P reversing I guess. Windows P reversing. What was the name of a software? I knew it. .net. It was I guess named dot P or something. Was this it the one? Yes, this one. Yes, I downloaded this once. Yes, I remembered it. Okay, okay. Yes, this was the software. Okay. Okay, hopefully that would work better than this I'll spy. I have it installed. Yes, I have. ओके एक बार डिस्कॉर्ड से एक मिनट मैं सर को पिंग करता हूँ आई गेस यही था एक बार पूछ ले रहा हूँ डिस्कॉर्ड व्हाट फेटल जावास्क्रिप्ट और क्या मतलब डिस्कॉर्ड भी उड़ गया ओके ओके hopefully please JetBrains to work open where was the file download license activator .exe okay resources main config okay है was this supposed to happen पता नहीं config okay कुछ तो खुला कहाँ गया ओके ओके एन्क्रिप्शन पासवर्ड ये क्या है एन्क्रिप्शन पासवर्ड ओके ठीक है इसको मैं लिख के रखता हूँ दिस लुक्स लाइक अ बेसिक स्टफ फॉर स्ट्रिंग वेलकम मैसेज आई वांट टू प्ले अ गेम विद यू लेट मी एक्सप्लेन द ओके ये सब तो टेक्स्ट जो डिस्प्ले हो रहा था फॉर्म बैकग्राउंड नहीं बैकग्राउंड में कुछ नहीं है उधर देखा था एल्सपाई में एन्क्रिप्ट फाइल्स में कुछ था डेटा डॉट फन डेटा का ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है फॉर्म गेम Time left second. From get Bitcoin address. Datran.tr local get encrypt files address txt. ये सब क्या है? नहीं, इनमें से कुछ नहीं है। नहीं, प्रोग्राम ये क्या है? ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है। मेन प्रॉपर्टीज में क्या है? टूल्स, हैकिंग, स्ट्रिंग मोड, डिकर्व, आर्स, रिप्लेस, क्वेश्चन मार्क, स्लीप। नहीं, इधर भी कुछ नहीं है। रिमेक नहीं है। लॉकर, प्लीज इसमें हो जाए कुछ। ओके, एन्क्रिप्शन पासवर्ड वापस से। bitfiles.txt, get encrypt files, create file system, simulation, get files, get directories, void encrypt files. ओके, नहीं इधर भी नहीं है। फर्स्ट स्ट्रिंग पाथ लॉकर, गेट फाइल्स। ओके, फाइल्स ले रहा है यहाँ पे। एंड देन सेलेक्ट पे नहीं, आई गेस सेलेक्ट कर रहा है फाइल्स को। फाइल इक्वल टू फाइल, एक्सटेंशन इक्वल टू एक्सटेंशन, मस्ट बी एक्सटेंशन। ओके, डजंट सीम इम्पोर्टेंट। ओके, यहाँ कुछ है कि क्या है ये? एनक्रिप्ट फाइल, स्टार्ट मोड ग्रेटर देन 0, वर्क फोल्डर पाथ, कंपेयर स्टार्ट्स विथ विंडोज, देन यूजिंग AES क्रिप्टो सर्विस प्रोवाइडर। ओके, AES, हाँ, AES वहाँ पे दिखा था मेरे को, नेट में भी AES मेरे को आता है। मैं कर सकता हूँ, आई कैन डू दिस। AES हेल्को की, ओके, की है, ओके, बेसिक डिफॉल्ट स्ट्रिंग कन्वर्ट कर रहा है। एंड IV, ओके, की और IV है, की एंड IV दिया हुआ है, की एंड IV है, की एंड IV है। एनक्रिप्ट फाइल, सिमेट्रिक एल्गोरिथम, पाथ प्लस एनक्रिप्ट एक्सटेंशन। ओके, और नीचे कुछ है क्या? डिक्रिप्ट फाइल। ओके, डिक्रिप्ट फाइल में ये वाला की यूज कर रहा है एंड इट यूजेस दिस IV एंड इट डिक्रिप्ट्स इट। Guess this would work. Okay, I'll try it first. I'll explain what AES is right now, but पहले ये ट्राई करना था मेरे को, काम कर रहे हैं नहीं, अदरवाइज मैं भी नहीं बता पाऊंगा जब तक ये होता नहीं है। ओके, ये स्ट्रिंग था, की और IV से एनक्रिप्ट। AES में CTFs में बहुत किया है मैंने AES एनक्रिप्शन। आई गेस ये हो जाएगा, ट्राई कर रहा हूँ। ओके, फोल्डर, ओके, टेक्स्ट फाइल, पाइथन स्क्रिप्ट लिखता हूँ एक। इसको भी एनक्रिप्ट मत कर देना प्लीज़, वरना कुछ किस कहीं का नहीं रहूँगी। इंपोर्ट क्या था? क्रिप्टो डॉट होता है, हाँ, क्या था? क्रिप्टो डॉट साइफर था, साइफर इंपोर्ट AES। और पैडिंग का भी शायद ज़रूरत पड़ेगा। इंपोर्ट पैडिंग, इंपोर्ट अनपैड पैड, और IV दिया था ना, IV और की दिया था, क्या था? की बेस 64 में था, बेस 64 भी चाहिए मुझे। कोड बेस 64, मैं एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा जो भी मैं लिख रहा हूँ बाद में, अभी मेरे से एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया जाएगा। जस्ट प्लीज़ वेट फॉर वाई एंड होप दिस वर्क्स। बेस 64 तो बेस 64 कोड, ठीक है। और IV है 16 बाइट्स, ठीक है। ठीक है, बाइट एरे होगा शायद। हटाओ, रिप्लेस ऑल करके नहीं होता है क्या सब लाइन में? रिप्लेस ऑल नहीं होता, मैनुअली करना पड़ेगा लग रहा है। टाइप कर लूँगा मैनुअली, इससे अच्छा। IV इक्वल्स टू 01035 0103530100207। अच्छा, 60 भी है नीचे, अगर 60, इसको बाइट एरे बनाता हूँ एक, ठीक है। ओके, मेरे को IV मिल गया, की मिल गया, मेरे को डिक्रिप्ट करना है, ठीक है। फंक्शन लिख देता हूँ, डिक्रिप्ट कोड टेक्स्ट लूँगा, साइफर इक्वल्स टू एस डॉट यू। क्या था मैं, ये भी दिमाग में नहीं आ रहा मेरे में, देखना पड़ेगा। ब्राउजर क्रोम काम कर रहा हो, प्लीज़ क्रोम काम कर रहा हो। थैंक गॉड। डिक्रिप्ट एस पाइथन, ये था क्या? आई थिंक वेट, एस डॉट यू की cbc iv। ओके, हाँ हाँ, cbc होना चाहिए, iv और की दिया हुआ है तो की एस डॉट मोड cbc iv और फिर डिक्रिप्टेड टेक्स्ट इक्वल्स टू साइफर डॉट डिक्रिप्ट कोडिंग। इसको शायद अनपैड भी कर देता हूँ मैं, पैडिंग का इशू हो सकता है, ये इसमें हर बार होता है। उनको ब्लॉक लेंथ चाहिए, ब्लॉक लेंथ आईवी का लेंथ ही होगा, देन आईवी रिटर्न। हाँ ठीक है, यस ओके। नहीं, यहाँ पे ब्लॉक लेंथ होगा। सॉरी, मेरा दिमाग काम नहीं कर रहा, आई एम रियली सॉरी। होप दिस वर्क्स प्लीज। ठीक है, ओके, एक एक फाइल को ट्राई करता हूँ। ये एकेडमी कैलेंडर है ना, ओके। बट इससे मेरे को समझ नहीं आएगा, इससे दिक्कत होगा। टीकोड डॉट टी एक्स टी, ठीक है, इसको ट्राई करता हूँ मैं करके। कहाँ गया सब लाइन, कहाँ है? f equals to open decode dot txt is rb dot read। ये मेरा इनकोड हो जाएगा, decrypted equals to decrypt f एंड। अब एक फाइल खोलता हूँ दूसरा, decode dot txt डॉट फन है, सॉरी माय बैड। decode dot txt and wp f dot write decrypted, decrypted, ठीक है। एंड इसको क्लोज कर देते हैं शायद, एक मिनट, स्क्रिप्ट को एडिट कर रहा हूँ। डिलीट, ठीक है, ओके। आई गेस ये काम करना चाहिए। कंट्रोल बी। क्या हुआ, रन क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? क्या हो रहा है? दिस टाइमर डूइंग मींस व्हाई इज इट डूइंग नथिंग। टाइमर का मैंने देख लिया, यहाँ पे भी एंक्रिप्ट फाइल्स में जाऊँगा तो हर एक बार टाइमर चल रहा है, ये फाइल्स डिलीट कर रहा है मेरा हर एक बार टाइम करते हुए। ओके, इसको रन करो। ये रन क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? वेट 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 वेट, क्या हुआ ये? ओके, इसने मेरे सबलाइम के फाइल्स को भी एन्क्रिप्ट कर दिया, जस्ट ग्रेट। ओके, टर्मिनल से कर सकता हूँ मैं। टर्मिनल जा, पाइथन सॉल्व डॉट पाई है, इंपोर्टर कैन नॉट, अच्छा पाई क्रिप्टो इंस्टॉल किया, पिप इंस्टॉल पाई क्रिप्टो। हाँ, इंस्टॉल्ड है, क्या मतलब पाइथन भी गया? पाइथन फिर से इंस्टॉल कर रहा हूँ। पाइथन इंस्टॉल है, स्टोर, अरे यार Edge cooling, I hate edge. Python. Python 3.9 इंस्टॉल करो इसको। ठीक है, अच्छा प्लीज। हाँ तो स्लो नेट यहाँ से कर ले रहा हूँ पाइथन। इसका गिर मत। चैट बॉक्स में क्या चल रहा? शट डाउन कर दो। पता नहीं अब शट डाउन यहाँ पे कुछ तो बोला है कि इफ यू टर्न ऑफ योर कंप्यूटर ट्राई टू क्लोज मी व्हेन आई स्टार्ट नेक्स्ट टाइम यू विल गेट 1000 फाइल्स डिलीटेड। वो नहीं कर सकता मैं, कांट टेक दैट रिस्क। और मैं शट डाउन इसलिए भी नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि स्ट्रीम का जो एडमिन हूँ मैं ही हूँ। मैं अभी शट डाउन कर दूंगा, स्ट्रीम बंद हो जाएगा, पूरा सेशन जाएगा। थैंकफुली क्रोम बचा हुआ है। ओके इंस्टॉल हो गया, चल जा प्लीज। पाइथन ओके ये तो चला। पिप इंस्टॉल पाई क्रिप्टोडोम। ओके इंस्टॉल हो रहा है, इंस्टॉल हो रहा है। पाइथन सॉल्व डॉट पाई है। नेम decrypt इज नॉट डिफाइंड। कहाँ पे? लाइन 15 ओह decrypt। वाह है। ओके हाँ ठीक है, decrypt ठीक है। CBC ओके ये सब तो ठीक है। क्या हुआ इसको? इंसर्ट, इंसर्ट की कहाँ है? इंसर्ट decrypt of ओके ये सब तो आई गेस ठीक है। दिस शुड वर्क। देख रहा हूँ फाइल्स नहीं जाना चाहिए मेरा। की और आईपी एक बार वापस कंफर्म कर लो कि बेस 64 से इसकी वो कन्वर्ट कर रहा है। वापस कॉपी करके डाल देता हूँ जस्ट टू बी श्योर। आ गया। एंड आईपी इक्वल टू न्यू बाइट 16 010 353 010 353 01002 01002 एंड 067 ठीक है। ओके लग तो इतना सही रहा है, इतना सिंपल होना तो नहीं चाहिए। पाइथन सॉल्व डॉट पाई इनकरेक्ट पैडिंग। वो पैडिंग में कुछ इशू आएगा? पैडिंग हटा के देखता हूँ। हाँ ठीक है। क्या चल रहा है अभी? 1 लाख इक्वल टू 1 बिटकॉइन प्लीज 100 लाइक दे दो किसी तरह वीडियो को। क्या इनकरेक्ट पैडिंग फिर से क्यों? बिनेस का A2P अच्छा बेस 64 में ठीक से तो कॉपी किया था, क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? ओ लास्ट वाला इक्वल टू कॉपी नहीं हुआ। तो हाँ ओके ठीक है। ओके कुछ तो हुआ समथिंग हैपेंड, कुछ तो हुआ। ओके ये ये क्या है लास्ट में? ओके, यहाँ पे कुछ था, ये क्या हुआ? हाँ, यहाँ से यहाँ तक ठीक हुआ, बट ये लास्ट में क्या हुआ? ये कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, ये नहीं था, वैसा नहीं था। ये ठीक है, इसको दूसरी डिकोड कर रहा हूँ। साइफर एएस न्यू एक नया एफएस बनाया सीबीसी मोड का, आईवी किया कि आईवी ओके ठीक है आई गेस। ये तो ठीक लग रहा है। अच्छा, पैडिंग, यहाँ पे पैडिंग करना है शायद। यहाँ पे पैडिंग किया मैंने, साइफर डॉट डिक्रिप्ट एनकोडिंग और ब्लॉक लेन। ओके ठीक है। ओके दिस प्लीज, दिस फ्लो प्लीज चल जाए। यस, यही था डिकोड डॉट टीएक्सटी। ओके, ये पीडीएफ फाइल का नाम क्या है? pdf.fun। पीडीएफ ले लो इसको, मेरा कॉपी होना, इसको पेस्ट करो पीडीएफ में। अगर मैं वापस चला उसको तो प्लीज 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 यस, मैं प्रो हैकर हूँ, मैं प्रो हैकर। ओके, आगे सारे फाइल्स डिक्रिप्ट हो जाएंगे। मालवेयर रैनसमवेयर नाम का रैनसमवेयर। ओके ठीक है ठीक है। सारे फाइल्स करूँगा पहले, नहीं पहले एएस बता, नहीं ठीक है, पहले सारे फाइल्स में डिक्रिप्ट करूँगा, पहले सारे फाइल्स डिक्रिप्ट करूँगा मैं। डॉट पाई वापस करो ठीक से। और ये एक फाइल को किया, मेरे को सारे फाइल्स को डिक्रिप्ट करना है। इंपोर्ट ओएस फॉर फाइलिंग ओएस डॉट वॉक से होता था आई गेस। हाँ, सी नहीं, ओएस डॉट वॉक तो तीन चीज़ें देता था, पाथ देता था, डायरेक्टरी देता था, और डायरेक्ट लिख देता हूँ, और फाइल देता था। हाँ ठीक है। फिर फाइल, हाँ फाइल सबको लिस्ट करता था। फॉर आई इन फाइल, फाइल नेम हो जाएगा मेरा पाथ और फाइल को जोड़ के, ठीक है। ओएस डॉट पाथ डॉट जॉइन पाथ और आई जोड़ देता हूँ। ये फाइल नेम हो गया, ये भेजो ओपन, ये फाइल नेम को ओपन करो और बटन डिलीट करो, उसको डिक्रिप्ट किया, देन ओपन किया वापस फाइल नेम। अच्छा, मेरे को सिर्फ फन वाले चाहिए ना। हाँ एक मिनट, इन फाइल इफ डॉट फन इन फाइल, हाँ तभी करूँगा ये सब चीज़। फन इन फाइल, फन क्या टेक्निकली फाइल का लास्ट होगा ना, लास्ट FUN 3 कैरेक्टर, एक डॉट, लास्ट का 4 कैरेक्टर्स, लास्ट का 4 कैरेक्टर शुड बी डॉट फन। हाँ, तब मैं फाइल नेम को ओपन करूँगा एंड ठीक है। फाइल नेम यहाँ पे लास्ट इसका 4 कैरेक्टर्स हटा दो, फन मेरे को नहीं चाहिए, जब वापस राइट कर रहा हूँ, क्लोज, और इसको डिलीट कर देता हूँ। है। हाँ, पहले डेस्कटॉप पे टेस्ट करूँगा इसको, पहले डेस्कटॉप पे टेस्ट करूँगा। सी यूजर्स वन डेस्कटॉप, ठीक है। ओके, दिस शुड वर्क होपफुली। बाकी सब तो ठीक लग रहा है। रन करता हूँ एक बार। क्या नेम फाइल इज नॉट डिफाइंड, ये कहाँ एरर आया? इफ फाइल, अच्छा एक और एरर दिख गया मेरे को, इक्वल टू फॉर्म, ठीक है। इसको अगर रन करता हूँ, ओके, कुछ हुआ क्या? ओके नहीं, कुछ तो एरर आया। सी यूजर्स मान डेस्कटॉप, ये बात तो ठीक है शायद। ये अंदर जा रहा है क्या? प्रिंट फाइल, हाँ तो अभी ओके अंदर ही नहीं जा रही है, कुछ तो दिक्कत है उधर। हाँ, ओ सॉरी, ओएस तो पाथ ज्वाइन तो करने ही भूल गया मैं। फाइल नेम, हाँ ठीक है। प्रिंट आई एम हियर, ओके अगर रन तो हुआ क्या? ओके डिक्रिप्ट हो गया। decode.txt message.txt, हाँ ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, इसको पूरा सिस्टम पे चला देता हूँ। सी पे चला दो। सी पे ज़रूरत क्या है, मैं यूजर्स पे यहाँ पे चला दो। ओके प्लीज़ ये पूरा काम कर देना, बस ये चल जाना, ये चल जाना प्लीज़ 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 है। इफ इक्वल टू ओपन फाइल डॉट डैट फाइल को क्यों ओपन कर रहा है ये? छोड़ो, जो जो होगा सो होगा, बाकी सब पे एक ट्राई कैच लगा रहा हूँ मैं। ट्राई एक्सेप्ट कंटिन्यू, नीचे क्यों आया इतना? चल जा प्लीज प्लीज। हो गया क्या? हो गया क्या? डिस्कॉर्ड खुल रहा है? ओके प्लीज खुल जा खुल जा खुल जा खुल जा प्लीज खुल जा 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 खुल जा। स्टार्टिंग, ओके स्टार्ट हो जाएगा क्या? यस चल गया। मैसेज जा रहा है? ओके हाँ ठीक है, इसी पे हूँ सर। सर कर दिया मैंने सर मैंने कर दिया। आई एम हियर। चल गया। ओके सर कर दिया मैंने, ठीक है। अभी अच्छा एएस बताना है ना तुम लोग को? हाँ रुको, एएस बता रहा हूँ। ओके पहले पहले मैं इसको बंद करूँगा, ये जो भी चल रहा है। ये शायद फायरफॉक्स था ना? हाँ फायरफॉक्स था। एंड टास्क अबाउट में गया, ओके हो गया बंद। अब उस बाइनरी को डिलीट करो, उस बाइनरी को डिलीट करो। कहाँ गया? लाइसेंस एक्टिविटी नहीं था ना? लाइसेंस एक्टिविटी पूरा कंटिन्यू। रिक्वायर परमिशन फ्रॉम द सो होपफुली बाइनरी डिलीट हो गया होगा। ओके बाइनरी पे है क्या? और वापस फिर से एक बार चेक करूँ जस्ट टू बी श्योर। डिलीट क्यों नहीं हुआ? ओके हो गया, डिलीट हो गया, ठीक है। हाँ ओके तो एएस इंक्रिप्शन, ठीक है। एएस इंक्रिप्शन ब्लॉक्स है, एक विकिपीडिया पेज है एएस का। चैट में क्या चल रहा है? फ्री में ऑटो कैश वो कीचन क्रैकर मैं नहीं करने वाला अब. आई कांट डू दैट एनी मोर. तो आई एम सॉरी, जो लोग को भी फ्री कीचन लेना था अभी नहीं दे सकता मैं. अब मैं नहीं कर रहा वो वापस. ब्लॉक साइफर मोड ऑफ ऑपरेशन एएस बता दे रहा हूँ, विकिपीडिया वाला. एएस. अच्छा, रैंसमवेयर वैसे पहले किसी को पता है क्या होता है? अभी जो भी हुआ रैंसमवेयर के बारे में. व्हाट इज अ रैंसमवेयर? एनीथिंग? कुछ हाँ ना बोल दो. टाइप यस और नो इफ यू नो अबाउट लाइक व्हाट इज रैंसमवेयर. एनीवन? हाँ. नहीं. ओके. हाँ. सो व्हाट अ रैंसमवेयर बेसिकली डज इज, इट इज फ्री में आईफोन लेना सिखा दीजिए. भाई वो सब काम नहीं होगा मेरे से. हाँ. ओके. सो नो, इट enters randomly. No, that does not mean ransomware. uh, what a ransomware does is like, it, yes, it is a sort of virus, you can say. Like, it comes as a useful software. Like, it just happened to me. It came as a license activator, and then when you run it, it basically encrypts all your files in your computer to some other format. Like in my case it was .fun, and then it asks for some ransom, as in, like, it will ask you for money in return for your files. Like, it was asking me for $100 bitcoin in bitcoin, and if I paid that to that person, then it would give me my files back. Like, in ransomwares basically, there is a key which encrypts your files, and then the decryption key is stored somewhere on the, like, with that person, and he gives you your bitcoin address, and then as soon as you uh, pay the amount, like, जैसे ही तुम उनको पैसा दे दोगे, तो फिर वो क्या करेगा, वो जो डिक्रिप्ट वाला की है वो तुमको दे देगा कोई डिक्रिप्टर के साथ, एंड देन उसके साथ, लाइक, तुम अपने फाइल्स को बेसिकली डिक्रिप्ट कर सकते हो. एंड अगर तुमने नहीं किया वैसा, तो तुम्हारे जितना भी फाइल्स हैं, दे विल बी लॉस्ट फॉर एवर. सो दिस इज बेसिकली व्हाट अ ransomware is. In our case it was a jigsaw ransomware. In our case it was a jigsaw ransomware. uh, कहाँ गया? Jigsaw ransomware. It was a jigsaw ransomware जो कि it was created in 2016. Anyways, I'm not going to details of what it was, but कहाँ गया? हाँ, यहाँ पे. So इसका कोड में, as you can see, there is a decrypt file function, and यहाँ पे it uses this key and this IV. uh, so what basically I did was, like, I opened this using this software .peek, and then I opened each and every file which was contained inside this binary, and in hope of finding some code which would help me. But in this file named locker.cs, as soon as I opened it, I saw this encryption password here. And well, if it is an encryption password, it could be of use to us. And then I scroll down. I saw each and every function: get files, get extensions to encrypt, which weren't really useful. Then this function stood out: encrypt files, but it didn't really matter that much. So, and after this, it was this decrypt files function. यहाँ पे भी कुछ हो रहा था कि पाथ में लेके डिक्रिप्ट फाइल कर रहा है. फिर ये डिक्रिप्ट फाइल नाम का एक फंक्शन है यहाँ पे, एंड आई वेंट डाउन एंड आई सॉ दिस. And what it basically did was, it took this key. Discord में notifications आ रहे हैं. And then what it did was, it took this key and this IV. Now I saw this key and IV and this AES written over here. AES is a really common encryption method, which uses, it is a symmetrical encryption method. I'll first quickly tell you what is AES. There are the most famous, uh, लाइक एएस का दो सबसे ज़्यादा फेमस मेथड्स हैं. वन इज ईसीबी, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कोड बुक, एंड वन इज सीबीसी, साइफर ब्लॉकचेनिंग. फर्स्ट लेट मी एक्सप्लेन टू यू व्हाट ईसीबी इज. Okay, this. So AES is a symmetric algorithm. Like what happens in in an encryption system? Like you have a ciphertext, sorry, you have a plain text, that is your message, and then there is a key. Uh, the key, and then with this key and this plain text, a ciphertext is generated. This is the encrypted text, right? And then to decrypt this, you again need a key, which helps you to decrypt this. Now, let's call this key 1 and let's call this key 2. So, in what happens in symmetric algorithms, that this key and this key are the same. That is, key 1 is equal to key 2. So, and in asymmetric algorithms, this key 1 is not equal to this key 2. This is basically the not equal to sign. This key 1 is not equal to key 2. AES is a symmetric algorithm. So if I have the key which was used for encrypting it, I can decrypt it. Let's first talk about the ECB mode of algorithm. This I'll show it to you from this diagram. So what happens in AES is, first there is a block size. That is, let's say you have this long text and your block size is 4. Then first your entire text is divided into groups of 4 like this. And like here only one was left, but I need 4. So some padding is added to the end of it. Different method, different people use like different types of padding. So basically some text is added so that it becomes 4, a length of 4. And then like let's say you had 3 blocks. This is your first block, this is your second block, and this is your third block. And you have a key, the key. Now, first, the key and the first block of plain text is combined. Some encryption is performed, and you get the first block of ciphertext. Similarly, in the second, the same thing repeats. The second block of plain text is combined with this key, and you get the ciphertext. And similarly, the third part. And in the end, all these three ciphertexts, these blocks of ciphertexts, are appended together, and that is the resultant ciphertext. Next. Okay, this was ECB method. This is the simplest method of ECB. And for decrypting, you can again, like you have the ciphertext, you can use the key, you can use the decryption method, and you get the plain text. Similarly for each blocks, and then you combine all these blocks of plain text to get the final, to get the resultant output. That is the original text. Now, CBC mode is a little bit complicated. There you had only one parameter, the key, but here you have two, the IV, initialization vector, and the key. So first, the plaintext is divided into blocks, and then the IV is Zord. Zord, that is Zord. Zor is basically a binary method, like binary operation, like and or. In this, like if you had, let's say, two zeros, by zero I mean like a zero in binary. Like if you had two zeros, then you get the output as 1. I'm sorry, you get the output as 0. If you had two ones, then you get the output as 0 again. If you had like this, then you get the output as 1. And if you had this, then you get the output as 1. Basically, if you have even number of zeros, then you get the output 0. And if you have odd numbers, then you get the output as 1. So this is the XOR method. Anyways, so first the IV is XORed with the plain text to get some string, and then that string is encrypted using this key, and you get the first block of ciphertext. Okay, now this first block of ciphertext we obtained is used as the initialization vector for the second block of plaintext. Here this plaintext and this ciphertext are XORed, then you get some string, then this key is applied, the encryption is performed using this key, and you get the ciphertext, and so on. एनीवेज किसी को कुछ समझ आ रहा है जो बता रहा हूँ? Okay, कोई नहीं. If no one is able to understand, try a little. If not, you'll get to know about it in few time. I'm sorry if I'm not able to explain properly, but you'll get to know about it soon. And sorry guys for the ransomware, जो AutoCAD का की नहीं मिल पा रहा तुम लोग को. And decryption method के लिए भी there's a similar process. Anyways, so what I did was, I took the IV from here. I converted this entire thing into bytes. Now, how did I know it was bytes? I basically sort of guessed, like it was written byte here, so it is basically taking the, like, this byte, this byte, this byte. So I took this all as a list and converted it into a byte array. Then this was a base64 text, as here it was written from base64 string. So I converted this to base64. Then the block length is usually the length of the IV. Like in this picture you can say, this is the length of the block and the IV has the same length. So I took the block length as the length of the IV. Then I wrote a decrypt function. Here I created a new cipher with the key given and the IV, and I used the mode as CBC because, well, I had an IV and a key, so it was maximum chances was that it was CBC, because it couldn't be ECB for the first one. Then I unpadded it. I just showed you what padding is, like this. So I basically unpadded this stuff. Like, I decrypted it first, and then I decrypted it using this function, this cipher.decrypt, and then I returned the decrypted text. Now, what I did here was, I recursively went over my entire this folder, the entire C drive, C users Himan folder, and then I first checked if the file name ends in .fun, like the last 4 characters of my file name are .fun. Then I opened that file, I read its contents, then I called the decrypt function on them. Then I created another file, but this time not with the extension .fun. Like, if I had the file name .it like this and its last 4 characters were fun, then I took the contents of this file, I decrypted it, and then I created another file named file.txt. That is, I removed the last 4 characters from this file. Then I wrote all the decrypted text, whatever I found decrypted inside this, and then I closed the file, and then I deleted the .fun file. That is, I created this and then I deleted this, and then I basically ran this script. And, well, guess it worked basically. So, well, I didn't expect this. I had prepared fully about the keygens, but, well, we ended up reversing something else. So I hope you liked this, and I'm sorry once again for whatever happened. You may decrypt. Okay, if you were not able to understand this right now, that's also mostly because you don't know Python that much. Don't worry, you will get to know about this in due time. And whenever, and like, if you really want to know more about this, then you can ask it later on in the Discord server. Okay, so now I'll hand. I'll. Okay, so I guess this was it for my session. Now I'll hand over the stream to the next person. I'm sorry, ये सब जो भी हुआ उसे मैं भूल गया, नेक्स्ट कौन बोलने आने वाला था.
हेलो एवरीवन, आई होप मज़ा आया होगा कुछ अनएक्सपेक्टेड देख के. हमारे लिए भी था अनएक्सपेक्टेड, बट लेट्स बिगिन. Okay, so this part of the session is going to be a continuation of the networking part that we had on uh, the first day. So let me give you a brief of what networking was. So before internet, all computers were standalone computers. They didn't have any mechanism in between themselves to communicate with them. So when internet and networking grew, what happened was computers could now send messages different between each other, just like we humans do with WhatsApp or something. So these messages travel through the internet through the different layers as described by the OSI model we taught you in the first session. And if you remember, there's a layer called transport layer, which included protocols like TCP and UDP. So Now what we'll do is we'll take a look at those protocols practically. So for that, what I'll do is I'll split my terminal into two so that I can simulate two machines, at least show you something like that. So I'll use tmux for it, and I'll split it. Okay. So let's call the left one A and let's call the right one B. So uh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a netcat client. What is netcat is, it's a simple to use TCP UDP client, which is a transport layer client means. So I'll use that client and I will try to send a message from A to B. Okay, just a second, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So I'll try to send a message from A to B. Um, and right now I'm not same machine, so it might not seem that great. But if you are on different machines, you can understand the power of it. We can basically communicate with each other. So uh, to send messages, what we have to do is we have to create a connection between those two machines. And to create a connection, what we need is a server or a listener, you can say, which listens at a particular port for connections and handles them, and a client which sends a particular connection, will request to connect at a particular port of a particular IP address. So let's uh, let's have a listener on B. So for that, what I can do is netcat nlvp, and I have to specify the port number. Let's say 8000. So you can see it is listening on port 8000, and what I can do is come to A and connect to it. So for that, I can just specify the IP. Right now, it's the same machine, so it's going to be localhost, and the port is this one. So I created a connection between them, and you can see it has received a connection. So what I can do is now I say hi, and yeah, you can see the hi message comes over here too. Now I can even go here and say hello, and the message will come back here. So basically, it's a socket which is connected between the two ports, and there can be messages being transferred between each other. So this is, if you think about it, it's a very simple thing, basic communication, but it is really, really powerful because it enables you to remotely communicate with machines which you don't have physically access to, and you can build applications on top of it. So let's say I want to build an application, but for that, what I need to do is I need to automate this listing part. Like if someone says hi over here, it should automatically send them hello if that's the purpose of the application. So there shouldn't be a human sitting there and saying hello every time a hi message comes, right? So I can write a program like Python program and automate this stuff here. But the problem with machines is that they do what they're told to do. Like whatever you tell them, they'll do it. They won't do anything else. So what happens is if someone says hello, it also is greeting that machine like hi or hello. It's the same thing in human terms, but this machine wouldn't be able to do it because we will be hard coding it to say hello whenever someone comes and say hi. And if, let's say you will say that I will also hard code it to respond to hello messages, then someone can come and say hola or something like namaste. There are a ton of possibilities out there what a client can send to a particular server, and we have to make the server such that it understands that and responds according to that. So that is kind of tough because, as I said, computers don't do anything else than what we say it to do. They don't have human intelligence, and that's a problem. And that is why we have something called application layer protocols. That's also a part of the OSI model, and we have taught you earlier. So, as you remember, there's protocols like HTTP, SMTP, uh, SSH, which are part of the transport layer protocols. And what these protocols do is that they specify a particular rules, set of rules, particular formats for these messages that a client can send to a server, and a server can easily parse those messages to get the required data, process it, and then send a response back. If it doesn't find that the message is in that format, it will just give an error message to the client that you're not sending it in the right format. So let's try it. Okay, let's try it. Let's have a listener at let's have this listener only at B, and let's send a HTTP request to B. And to do that, what I'll do is I'll use Python. I have Python 3 installed, and Python comes with a module called request. It is a really nice module which helps you do HTTP communication from your terminal. So what I can do is R is equal to request dot get, and basically what happens is the request module gives you some functions based on the different methods of HTTP. Like there are different methods like get, request, post request, and etc. So you can have get, or you can have post, or you can have head, etc. So it gives you that, and it says, let's say, connect to localhost 8000. And as you can see, I got some message here. Okay. So first thing to note is this is not moving because it is waiting for the response from this server, from this listener. But we have to manually give it because this is not actual server. This is a netcat listener. Okay. So now let's look at the message. Like it is get, and this get is basically your the get message that we get method or get type of request you can say. So yeah, get and some URL like the path you can say, like we have the root URL right now and the HTTP version, and see this is a particular pattern. There's a lot of data in a particular pattern which this program which might be running over here can process easily. So this is what HTTP is. This pattern, this format is what protocol is. It defines that. So I hope you got a basic understanding of protocols. And if this was a real HTTP server, it would send an HTTP response back to this client. So I can just kill it for now. Yeah. Okay. Now what we're going to do is let's try sending this message to Google and let's see if some response comes back. And okay. What happens is whenever there is a request or get, it returns a request object. No, sorry, it returns a response object. So as you can see, it's a response, and 200 is the status of that response, which means success. It is found and it has returned something true, which you can render on the page. So we can do simply r.text, and as you can see, this is the code of the Google's homepage. Now, what browsers do is they do just this stuff. They send HTTP request, take the response, take this HTML thing, and render it on the screen. That is their whole purpose. And what they do is they create an abstraction layer. They create a GUI, a graphical user interface for you guys, for the users, so that they don't have to worry about these technicalities and like get messages or something. So I hope you understood that. And this is what HTTP is. You can play with request module and this thing. Now, what I can do is, before we begin, let's see how many of you guys know about SSH. Like I asked you last time also. Now let's see how many of you guys know about it. Okay, nice. Because some people know about it. So if you remember what I said earlier in the last session was that SSH is a protocol like TCP, like HTTP, sorry. Like HTTP, it is an application layer protocol. So we can try to have a listener and SSH root, let's say root, for any user you want, localhost, and in SSH we specify the port using the -p flag, and yeah, as you can see, this SSH client is trying to connect to the server or listener using SSH, and it sends this stuff. And this is a part of the SSH protocol. Now, if this was a real server, there would be some communication and authentication between each other, in the end of which you will receive the remote access. So yeah, that is basic of what it is, basic of protocols and SSH and HTTP. I hope you now can visualize it. Now, let's see uh, the HTTP protocol in action in the browser inside the browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Mozilla Firefox and a tool called Burp Suite. Now, what this tool does is, like I said, that a browser sends HTTP request and waits for a response, take the response, and renders the HTML on the screen. That's the whole purpose of a browser. What Burp does is it sits between the server and the browser, and it listens on to all the requests that are going between the server and the browser, and it lets us modify them. So you can, so it's a pretty powerful tool. We can modify the server, the response that is coming from the server. We can modify the request, or we can just monitor them for security purposes. So let's try this. And this middleman stuff is called proxy, if you don't know it. So what I'm going to do is intercept is off right now. So I'm going to switch it on. And what intercept does, it shows the request over here whenever there is a request or response going or coming. So I just modify the settings here. Yeah, so let's just see this in action. Let's go to google.com. Okay. You can see burp is blinking and nothing is happening because the request is intercepted at the burp proxy. So yeah, as you can see, it's similar. We have an HTTP request. It's similar, like get request, HTTP version, something, and yeah. So we can just forward it, or we can just for now drop it. Yeah, just let the request pass, and the browser will render the screen. I hope you guys got it. Basic stuff of proxy and everything. Now let's try to do some security challenges with these with Burp. Okay. Uh, I maybe you remember this stuff. Pico CTF. It was taught earlier today only, so we can come to this web exploitation part and we can solve some challenges using Burp, and we can see it in action. Okay. So yeah, the first challenge that we have, the first challenge of web exploitation is get ahead. Okay, so we open it over here. Right now I have the intercept off because I want it to load right now. I want to see what it is. So yeah, this is the challenge, and the prompt is find the flag being held on the server to get ahead of the competition, and get and head is in caps lock. Now get and head both are types of HTTP requests. So I think we have to do something like that. Okay. So yeah, red and blue. Let's try to use this application first. Choose red. Okay. Choose blue. Okay. Red. So let's see. Let's check the source code first. Okay. So we have div. We have a form. Okay. So this form is actually sending the message to index.php, which is this file right here, which renders the whole content as a get method. And this is there's another form here which sends it to index.php as a post method, you can say. And there's nothing much more than that. Okay, so let's try to see it in Burp now. Have the intercept as on. I'll just do this here, and let's say I choose blue. Okay, so I have the request here, and as you can see, I have post over here, which means that the post form is being submitted. Uh, the form is being submitted to the post method, and yeah, I can just forward it. Okay, I got a response and background color blue. So yeah, okay. So basically, what I feel like is happening is, um, depending on the type of request that the server is receiving, the server is sending two different HTML files which have two different colors in them. So, and one other hint that we had from the prompt was, from the title was a head, and it is a type of request. So what I can do is, I can say, okay, I can just let request pass for a second. Yeah, so I can just choose red. Now I have this request over here. I can put it to repeater. And what a repeater it is, it puts it into a sandbox, you can say, where you can play with stuff and send it back to the server to test what it does with the server. So I have this request and I can simply send it over here. So I get a response and I can render it. Yeah, as you can see, this is a red request, and if I modify this to post, it will give me this. And as I have the hint from the title, I can try to do this head stuff. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it didn't render because it isn't HTML, or at least there was no content, but we got a flag. So yeah, and now we can submit it. Submit flag. Yeah. Now let's go with the next challenge. Cookies. I close this. Okay. Cookies. Who doesn't love cookies? Try to figure out the best one. Okay, welcome to my cookie search page. See how much I like different kinds of cookies. Seeing cookies. Let's just take a look at the source code if there is any client side stuff happening. Yeah, there is something, but yeah, it's not that important. And category success green inflow blue. Yeah, something is happening. Yeah, and yeah. So basically, there's a form which sends data to the search URL as a post request, and it is sending this stuff and this stuff, which means that the name and the submit it sends to the server, and the server does something. Let's try something. I hope the proxy is off. Yeah. So let's try admin. Uh, okay, this doesn't appear to be valid cookie. Okay, so what I think is that it is like a huge database of cookies, and what it wants us to do is search the database for a particular cookie, and maybe that cookie is a flag, maybe. So let's see. I have this placeholder which is like this snickerdoodle, so I can just paste the stuff. Okay, and try it. Let's try it because it is given as placeholder. It has to do something. Okay, this is a cookie. Okay, I left snickerdoodle cookies. Nice. So let's see if we can refresh it. Okay, so see, as you can see, I refreshed it, but it is persistent, which means that some data is being stored between a session, so that you know the data is persistent. The data doesn't get removed when we refresh the whole page. There has to be some kind of persistence, like a storage. So I can go to Firefox and check the storage, and I have a name cookie here. Okay, and if I can do this, change it to 1. Let's see. Okay, I love chocolate chip cookies now. If I can do it, let's say -1. Okay, this isn't a valid cookie. And if I can, let's say, do 2. Okay, so what I'm inferring from this is there might be particular indexes corresponding to a particular cookie, and that corresponds to a real world cookie name. And we have to particularly search the database because it has to be in the database. There is nothing else here, and we have to search the database for a flag. So what we can do is we can manually try to increment it and find it, or what we can do is we can let perp do this. So let's just intercept this off. I hit it, send it to intruder this time, because intruder is what helps us to brute force it, helps us to modify it. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the cookie name was 3 earlier, but Burp put some signs, dollar signs in front of it, in front and behind it, which means it considers it a variable. Now, what I mean by that is when we go to payload, we can specify that what values of what values I want the Burp to put in this place and send the request and to get the response to me. And that's what we want to do. We want to brute force every type of cookie and find out if there is something that is important to us, the flag. So yeah, we can go to payload and payload type, uh, numbers, because sequential, let's have it from 1 to, let's say, let's try 20. Yeah, let's try 20 ones. Okay, so I can just start attack and okay, wait, payload set 1, invalid number settings. Okay, okay, so step is 1. Yeah, step has to be 1. Okay, start. Okay, this is community edition, so some warnings. Okay, now burp is brute forcing it for me. Yeah, Anshu Kumar, I am using burp suit for it, and as you can see, it is brute forcing it for me. And these numbers, this payload is the name, the number that I'm sending to the server to get the particular flag now, particular cookie, which I think might be the flag. Okay, so yeah, it's finished. So yeah, what we can do is response render, and we can take a look at all of that. Currently, I'm on the community edition. If you're on the pro edition of Burpsuit, what it does, it lets you apply some pattern check on each and every response and lets you find the particular thing that you want to, which makes it easier. For now, I have to go through each and every response and check if there is something interesting. I can also use Python for it, uh, but the problem with Python is we have to write some code, and I don't think you will understand much of that right now. So I'm using this thing here: sugar cookies, molasses. Mm, yeah, but takes. Okay, but it's taking time to render, so I can just go here and I left some cookies. Not interesting. Um, biscotti, not interesting. Butter, not interesting. I guess render works now. Yeah, butter, spreads, snowball, drop, thumbprint, and yeah, it's taking a time. Okay, pinwheel, wafer. Okay, no, 18. Okay, we have the flag. So I hope you understood it. Let me submit it and just close this thing. Discard. Okay, yeah, submitted the challenge. So, any questions till now? Uh, Anshika, actually, I have that Burp Pro Edition, but it's on my virtual machine right now, and my laptop is currently not having that much RAM that I can run a virtual machine and a streaming software together. So I have to quickly set up something and do that. So yeah, okay, okay. Okay, so I don't think there are any doubts. So I can proceed with some other things, and that is you have heard about something called oswap.ml. If you are on our Discord server, it's the war game for web. And since we are discussing web, why not solve a few challenges of OSWAP? So I hope you now have a bit of concept about ports, and you're currently on port 80, but challenges begin on port this much. So I can just do this, and yeah, I am on welcome level 0x0, which is 0 for X. Okay. Do you know my favorite movie? An action thriller centered on a soldier who wakes up in the body of an unknown. Okay, okay. I don't know that movie, so let me just Google it. Okay, so it's source code, and yeah. So in terms of web, what source code means is right click, view page source, and I have the source code here. And at first, it might not seem that interesting, like just the original ones. You can go and check some other files also, but if you scroll down, you can flag the flag here. That was a trick. That was a basically to troll you guys. If you didn't notice this scroll bar here, there is this scroll bar. So yeah, this is the post level 0, which is the basic one. And we can go to the next level like this, and it says no right click for you. So we can't right click and say view page source. Now there are two things that we can do now, and firstly is we can say view source, and this is something interesting. Like this stuff, this view source can be added in a mobile also to view the source code. So this is something interesting, and yeah. Similarly, we have the flag. Or what we can do is Control Shift and I. It opens the DevTools. We can go to the inspector, and there's a flag. So these two challenges I did just to get you started on OSPAP, because not many have started it. Everybody's stuck with Unix. That's okay, but yeah, it's nice to try new things. Okay? So that's it from my part. Now I would be calling Mohit sir for telling something about the recruitment. Any doubts till now?
Hello, hello. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Um, so there is a small section remaining. We will only demonstrate that if you guys have any energy to continue. If not, we will end the session here. Hello, I'm seeing the live chat. Okay, you have. Uh, okay then. This will be a short part. I will demonstrate it. After that, there will be some information about your recruitment process, and then we can end the session. Okay. Just a second. Just a second. Uh, okay. The stream is visible, right? Mm, the screen is visible, right? Okay, so I will talk to you about something called pawning. Okay. It's a rather complicated topic, but I hope you can follow along. So I hope everyone knows C, right? Uh, this is a simple C code. There's nothing much going on. Here we have a user called a structure called user. It defines a username and a level. Then we have the main function. We create an object u1 using the structure. Okay, structure is basically like a way to add methods to define methods for an object. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are assigning the level for u1, which is an object, to 0. Okay, then we are then we are getting the uh, username from the person who will run the program. Okay, then it checks if the user level is equal to 0, which it is from the start, right? It is 0. It checks if it is 0, then it will print you are not admin and it will exit the program. If for some reason it's not 0, which is weird if you think about it, we are clearly assigning the level as 0 here. Okay, so if for some reason this value changes, we uh, we print this line, how did you change your level to whatever the level changes to. And then there's an if clause which checks if it is greater than 0, particularly greater than 0, not less than 0. And then it will print out welcome super admin plus std out, and then it will execute this command bash bin bash tag p. Tag p means uh, for privilege mode, so bash will run in privilege mode, but I don't think we can get it right. So I've already compiled this binary. So if I just write my username, it says you are not welcome to the admin panel, you are not the admin. Okay, if I write something else, hello all, you're not the it just prints that and says you're not the admin, right? So is there any way can that we can use to get to this part? Anyone has anything to say, like maybe some ideas how we can get to this part without changing the code, of course? Like this file is owned by root, we can't read this flag.txt, right? We can't, right? Okay, yeah, I'm root. Let me be the normal user. I'm the normal user. I can't read this flag.txt. I just can read the source code and I can run the binary. Anyone has anything? Calling the function out. Like switch function. There is only a single function, right? The main function. The main function gets called when the program is executed, normally in C programming terms. auth में आर्ग्यूमेंट पास करके ट्राई कर सकते हैं ओवरफ्लो इनपुट. Okay, we can try overflow input. Uh, Maybe we can do that. Change the level. Yeah. That's the ultimate goal. We have to change the level. But let's see how we'll do that. Character ज़्यादा डाल दे. Okay, we are getting some good things. Okay, यहाँ पे we have array of 64 for the name, right? Let's try to fill this out. Python print a into 64. Okay. कुछ नहीं हुआ. We just got that back. Okay. डेफ ट्राई कर सकते हैं, पाइथन नहीं है, कैरेक्टर ज़्यादा डाल दे. So we are getting here 64, right? So let's try to increase it by 1. Let's try to increase the character number by 1. Let's try to input 65 characters. Alright. Let's see what happens. And somehow we became super admin. Isn't this cool? बस एक कैरेक्टर ज़्यादा डालने से मैं सुपर एडमिन बन गया. How the heck did this happen? Hello? Type something if anyone has any idea. I am root. My effective user ID is root. My effective group ID is root. My group is root. And I can now read flag.txt. I don't think so you would have any idea regarding this. The issue is in the gets command. This gets you are seeing. The issue is here. Because this gets is vulnerable to buffer overflow. Look here, like we are only passing the name, right? Gets doesn't check how long is name. I can pass as many characters as I want, and it will over and after it overflows the name buffer, it will go on to overflow the integer that is the level. If I show it in GDB, uh, don't freak out if you can't understand anything. This is the main function. Here's the gets, and we are and here it's checking if it's equal or not. Okay, so let's hop through it. And okay, wait, just a sec. GDB auth. Okay, start the hell. पता नहीं नॉर्मल यूजर से करने पर रूट बन के. I'm stepping through the function. Okay, so यहाँ पे we have gets. Gets is getting called. That means it's reading our array, the 64 length array. So if I pass anything greater than that, I think so अभी क्रॉस कर गया होगा. तो ये अभी ओवरफ्लो हो चुका है. लाइक अब देखिए कैसे ओवरफ्लो हुआ है. यहाँ पे ये मेरा एड्रेस है. लाइक दिस इज द एड्रेस वेयर माय नेम द नेम मतलब वट एवर वी आर पासिंग इन द गेट्स इज गेटिंग स्टोर्ड. तो इसको लाइक अगर हम लोग देखें इस एड्रेस पे क्या है एक्चुअली, तो यहाँ पे hex 414141 है. और hex 41 if anyone knows is like is the ASCII of the letter capital A in hex. Capital A in ASCII is 65 and its hex is hex 41. So you see it's getting filled with OX 41 41 41 41 41. अब थोड़ा और ऊपर जाए तो ये जो RBP minus OX10 है ना, this is where the level is getting initialized to 0. Okay, so if we view that वो अभी OX 4141 से ओवरराइट हो चुका है. मैं लाइक अगर इसको फिर से चलाऊं, if I run it again and I examine that location again, एक सेकेंड. ओके नहीं, मतलब अभी इनिशियलाइज ही नहीं हुआ. यहाँ पे मूव किया, इनिशियलाइज किया वो पार्ट को OX0 से. ठीक है, सो इफ आई व्यू इट अगेन, बिकॉज इट्स एन इंटीजर है. एक सेकेंड, UP बी देखा इंटीजर है तो लास्ट मतलब बस यहाँ पे 0 ही है क्योंकि वो 0 से इनिशियलाइज किया, कुछ और से इनिशियलाइज करते तो कुछ और हो जाता। अभी तक ये है। अब मैं इसको मूव थ्रू करता हूँ और मैं गेट कॉल किया। अब मैं अगर इस पे इनपुट डालूँ मतलब ओवरफ्लो कर दूँ, ये 64 से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए। एंड नाउ इफ आई व्यू इट अगेन, द A got overflowed from that buffer into this, and we have basically the A here. Okay, so वो चेक क्या था? चेक था कि अगर लेवल का वैल्यू 40 0 से बड़ा है तो वो हम लोग को सुपर एडमिन बना देगा। सो वी डिड जस्ट दैट। ओके, आप गार्बेज वैल्यू को ही ले लिए जो 0 से रिप्लेस हो जाएगा। लाइक यहाँ पे गार्बेज वैल्यू है, यहाँ लाइक वी, यहाँ पे अगर ए की जगह बी भी करते तब भी कोई इशू नहीं होता। कभी कभार चेक्स डाल देता है लोग, कभी लाइक दिस इज अ हाइपोथेटिकल सिचुएशन राइट, लाइक कोई ऐसा कोड क्यों लिखेगा? बट in the world, in the open world, we can find thousands of examples like this, because remember one thing, nobody writes or wants to write buggy code. People write buggy code because it's the basic human nature. Okay, 64 की जगह 65 डाला तो वो रीड ही नहीं कर पाएगा। हाँ, तो बफर वैल्यू ले लेगा, गार्बेज वैल्यू। हाँ, लाइक वी कैन पाइप एनी वैल्यू। लाइक अगर मैं पाइथन टैग लाइक मैं हेक्स 01 डाल रहा हूँ, ठीक है, ये सिंपल हेक्स 01 है, ये 65 बार या 70 बार, 65 बार ही डाल देता हूँ, ठीक है, 65 बार डालूंगा तब भी शेल देना चाहिए मेरे को। ओके, देखा मतलब बिल्कुल सुपर ये दिखा दिया, पर मेरे को शेल नहीं दिया। वो एक्चुअली एनवायरनमेंट वेरिएबल का प्रॉब्लम है, वो लाइक एक्सेस नहीं कर पा रहा है, इसलिए मेरे को शेल नहीं दिया। पर ये वाला मैसेज तो आ ही गया ना, इसके बाद ही मेरे को शेल देता। ओके, पर लाइक इसको अगर मैं कोई फाइल में पाइप कर दूँ abc डॉट स्लैश ऑथ, इसका इनपुट में abc, आई हैव द सेम थिंग। सर अगर इस कोड में 0 की जगह कोई स्पेशल नंबर होता, फॉर एग्जांपल 3, तो कैसे करते हैं? हाँ, सिंपल है। लाइक ओरिजिनल एग्जांपल में मैं अगर इसको कोड को एडिट करूँ, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे सपोज मैं इसको कुछ भी डाल सकता हूँ, लाइक OX1337 कैसे है, ठीक है। तो इसको डालने के लिए लाइक, क्योंकि मेरे को क्या करना है, मेरे को ओवरफ्लो करके एग्जैक्ट वो वैल्यू लाना है मेरे को। अभी अगर कोई कोड देखेगा, सो आई हैव टू गेट एग्जैक्ट 1337 है, लाइक एग्जैक्ट 1337। और लाइक एक सेकंड, ये हो किस लिए रहा है? नेम के बाद लेवल है ना, तो नेम जब मतलब नेम के बाद जब स्पेस खत्म हो जाएगा तो अगला क्या बच रहा है? लेवल बच रहा है, तो इससे लेवल ओवरफ्लो हो जाएगा। अगर लेवल नेम के ऊपर होता, स्ट्रक्चर में अगर लेवल नेम के ऊपर होता तो वी कुड नॉट हैव डन दिस। ओके, सो ये भी इजी है। लाइक अगर मैं इसको 137 करूँ तो पहले मैं 64 बार ए डाल दिया क्योंकि वो बेसिकली नेम को भर देगा। अब मेरे को वहाँ पे 137 डालना है, ठीक है, तो मैं उसको काइंड ऑफ ऐसे डालूंगा, ठीक है। मैं अब बता रहा हूँ मैं क्यों डाला ऐसे। तो इसको मैं पाइप कर दिया ऑथ में। एक सेकंड, मैं कंपाइल तो किया ही नहीं, रॉन्ग फाइल। ठीक है, तो मैं तभी भी ये सुपर एडमिन बन गया और यहाँ पे मेरा ये लेवल 4919 दिखा रहा है, जो मैं अगर पाइथन में दिखाऊँ तो हेक्स 167 भी 4919 हुआ। पर मैं इसको ऐसे क्यों डाला, उल्टा क्यों डाला? मैं सीधा डालता तो क्या होता? मैं सिंपली, मेरे को हेक्स में डालना है ना, हेक्स 1337 में, क्यों मेरे को हेक्स में डालना है? मैं इसको ऐसे डाल दो, ठीक है, नोप, कुछ और वैल्यू आ गई। ये कितना है हेक्स में? ये ओके, वियर्ड ना, दिस इज वियर्ड ना। लाइक यहाँ पे मैं उल्टा डाला तब ये सीधा हो गया, 1337 हो गया। यहाँ पे मैं क्या डाला, यहाँ में 3713 डाला, यहाँ पे सीधा डाला तो ये उल्टा हो गया। बेसिकली दिस इज अ कॉन्सेप्ट इन द असेंबली लैंग्वेज, लाइक जो मैं तुम लोग को जीडीबी से उस टाइम दिखाया, जीडीबी से जो मैं दिखाया तुम लोग को उस टाइम, this is the assembly, this is the bytecode which your program gets converted to by the compiler before it gets executed on your system. Okay, so gdb is like a decompiler, or gdb is like a debugger which helps you run through this code, which helps you analyze this code, which helps through understanding the code on a more basic level. Okay, so ये जो उल्टा हुआ यहाँ पे, वो बेसिकली जो आर्किटेक्चर है, x86 आर्किटेक्चर इन जनरल, उसका एक फीचर है विच इज कॉल्ड लिटिल एंडियननेस। लिटिल एंडियननेस, ठीक है। नाउ दिस इज अ बिट लाइक समझ में नहीं आएगा अगर अभी समझाऊंगा, थोड़ा टाइम बाद आई गेस यू ऑल विल अंडरस्टैंड इट क्वाइट वेल। बहुत ईजी है, उतना कुछ हार्ड नहीं है। तो उस फीचर के लिए मैं इसको उल्टा लिखा हूँ। जैसे लिटिल होता है, बिग एंडियननेस भी होता है, ठीक है। तो पर जो x86 आर्किटेक्चर है वो लिटिल एंडियननेस को फॉलो करता है, इसलिए मेरे को इसको उल्टा लिखना पड़ा, ठीक है। और कोई डाउट्स? लाइक कूल था ना, लाइक बिकॉज जस्ट बिकॉज आई हैव अ बफर ओवरफ्लो। बफर ओवरफ्लो क्या हुआ, लाइक बफर ओवरफ्लो वर्ड का जो मतलब है, ये बफर था मेरा नेम बफर, जिसका एक लेंथ फिक्स था। क्योंकि ये गेट्स फंक्शन वल्नरेबल है, मैं यहाँ पे हल्का सा मैं ट्रिक यूज किया था कंपाइल करने के टाइम। मैं इसको डेवलपर में पाइप कर दिया था। मैं अगर पाइप नहीं करूँ, ठीक है, तो मेरे को सी का लाइक जो एल डी इज अ डायनामिक लिंकर। ओके, जो लिंक करता है, मतलब अभी कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा, ये बेसिकली लिंक करता है मेरा ऑब्जेक्ट फाइल को मेरा बाइनरी एग्जीक्यूटेबल के साथ। वो बेसिकली वही मेरे को एरर वार्निंग देता है कि द गेट्स फंक्शन इज डेंजरस एंड शुड नॉट बी यूज्ड। मैं यहाँ पे टैग डब्ल्यू वार्निंग्स हटाने के लिए लिखा था, मैं इसको हटा दूँ। और यहाँ पे भी सेम देते हैं, इम्प्लिसिट डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ फंक्शन। ओके ओके, यहाँ पे नहीं दिया आई गेस, ठीक है। तो द कंपाइलर इटसेल्फ टेल्स मी दैट द गेट्स फंक्शन इज डेंजरस एंड शुड नॉट बी यूज्ड। बट आई थिंक सो तुम लोग का सी का क्लास में तुम लोग को पढ़ा रहा होगा कि मे बी गेट यूज गेट्स एंड ऑल, ठीक है। तो दिस इज अ वेरी brief like glimpse into a field called binary exploitation, or better known as spawning, ठीक है। सो आई होप यू लाइक इट। किसी को और कोई डाउट्स है? हाँ, बिन का बफर फ्लो होगा। डॉक्टर ऑक्टेवियस मेक्स अ कैमियो अगेन। ओके, ये कहाँ पर कोड कर रहे हैं सर? ये टर्मिनल पे मैं कोड कर रहा हूँ, और अभी मैं विम पे कोड कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है। लिनक्स इज वेरी कूल। मैं मे बी आई कैन चेंज इट। हाँ, ये सब शॉर्टकट्स है। यहाँ पे इंस्टेड ऑफ मतलब गिविंग मी द शेल, इट डायरेक्टली गिव मी द फ्लैग, क्योंकि मैं कोड को हल्का सा ट्वीक कर लिया था। लाइक अब ये मेरे को फ्लैग डिलीट करके दे रहा था। ब्रूटल एक्सप्लॉइट। ठीक है, सो आई होप कुछ समझ में आया होगा, हल्का सा सी का नॉलेज क्लियर होगा। कोई गेट्स फंक्शन कभी क्लास में यूज नहीं करेगा, ठीक है। ये पार्ट थोड़ा सा और लंबा होने वाला था, पर अभी लिटरली टाइम नहीं बचा है। 10 के पार हो गया, पिछला सेशन इतना लंबा गया नहीं था। तो लेट्स एंड दिस। ओके, स्टॉप स्क्रीन। I think so. Let's start the doubt session. डाउट सेशन से पहले आई गेस रिक्रूटमेंट का बता देता तुम लोग को. ओके. कैन वी स्किप दिस वे टू द यूनिसिट मैक्स लेवल? अगर एक्सपर्ट मिल गया तो यस यू कैन, रियली यू कैन. ओके. एंड इफ यू डू दैट, maybe we will give you something special. Regarding the recruitment, the Unixit and the OSWAP are compulsory. That's not just for fun. Like, we are tracking your progress. We are not showing the scoreboard for a reason. Okay. The flags are updating every 15 minutes for a reason. So we hope you complete that. We hope you give your best in that. Okay. And there are a few more things. You can discuss things like you can discuss OSAP and all. If you have any doubts, ask your seniors and all. Okay. Maybe some divisions have told you about conducting a test. I don't think so. There will be any test which will be conducted, like a written test or an online class में जो सब cheating करते हैं वो सब उस type का. From tomorrow, we will be having something new on the server, which will like happen daily. Like daily, something will come out. You will have to solve it, and you will get points. And this time, there will be a public scoreboard for you to compete against one another. Okay. And as for WOC, which you might have heard from other divisions. Okay. So we are not yet sure that we will be conducting a WOC, but if we do, that will also play a part in the recruitment. So क्या क्या हुआ? Unixit OSWAP, कल से कुछ नया आ रहा है वो, maybe WOC, and above all things, like when the final week for WOC will be going on for other divisions, we'll be having something special, which I can't reveal now. And so your involvement in that will be directly proportional to your recruitment in the club. There is no, I guess, limit regarding how many people we will take. If you have the skills, if you have the enthusiasm, if you want to be a pro hacker like Himanshu, okay, so I hope you do well. कोई डाउट्स है तो पूछ लो रिक्रूटमेंट के रिगार्डिंग और स्ट्रीम एंड करते हैं. हिमांशु श्रेयांश अनम्यूट कर लो, तुम लोग भी डाउट्स लो. सर इतना सस्पेंस रख रहे हो, मतलब हाइप को तो एक्सपर्ट कर रहे हो. नाइस. Recruitment related, any doubt? This is the last session, so there won't be any sessions after that. But of course, join the Discord server and we'll be interacting there. Any doubts? If you don't have, we'll be ending the session. I think so. You guys have no doubts. हिमांशु सर के पीसी के साथ जो हुआ वो सच था. तेरे को क्या लगता है? लाइक हम लोग कॉमेडी है ये? That was
पूरा प्रिपेयर. यस, मैं पूरा प्रिपेयर करके गया था कीजेन जनरेटर का, उसको एक्सप्लॉइटेशन का पूरा अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर गया था, एंड देन ये हो गया वहाँ पे.
Oh, sir, is OSWAP and Unixit is enough? नहीं राज, और भी करना पड़ेगा बहुत.
grind is all I would say. Like जो लोग कर रहे हो, आई गेस बहुत लोग लेवल 8 वगैरह पे है, बहुत लोग OSWAP भी लाइक प्रोग्रेस है उस वक्त पे। और हाँ, लाइक आई गेस वाइपर का बैकग्राउंड से जो नॉइज आया, लाइक किसी को अगर नेवर माइंड, किसी को अगर चाहिए कि वो लाइक फाइल सच में डिलीट हो रही थी या नहीं, वो लिंक डाल देंगे। वाइपर मेल आई होप टू डिलीट नहीं किया होगा, हिमांशु आई मीन। तो यू ऑल कैन ट्राई फॉर योर सेल्फ। एक्सपर्ट स्क्रिप्ट मत मांगना। एनीवे, दैट वाज गुड ऑन यू हिमांशु, लगा नहीं था तू कर लेगा, सेशन एंड होने का था।
Thank you, sir.
और कोई डाउट्स किसी को? हाँ, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल। आई गेस लाइक MTPC पे करूंगा ट्राई, यू नेवर नो। पता चला हार्डवेयर ही खराब हो गया, तेरा हार्ड डिस्क खराब हो गया, तब क्या करेगा? इट वाज रियली अनएक्सपेक्टेड।
सुमित का डाउट है। सुमित, यू आर नॉट डूइंग बैड, बस करते रहो, कंसिस्टेंट रहो, हो जाएगा।
लाइक यू हैव टू सर्च, लाइक एक चीज बोलूंगा कि लाइक द फर्स्ट सेशन was about in the first session we had a section about Google docking, right? So uh, that's important. Like कुछ भी डाउट हो गूगल पे सर्च करो, गूगल हैज एवरीथिंग, ऑल ऑफ योर आंसर्स। कॉलेज के पीसी पे, कॉलेज पीसी देता है क्या? कॉलेज पीसी कब से देने लग गया? So I think let's end the stream. Okay, I think so. We are ending the stream. Okay, bye guys, it was fun. See you in Discord.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. Today I am going to make a new video, so please whatever. Please I want to reach 1 million likes, so please sarapakarai. Okay, thank you.